Hey, Slowly Unblended, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm doing a Galaxy Grunge look, so if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Hey y'all, to start this look off, I've taken the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime in the shade 1 on my eye, and I'm taking the Makeup Shack T101 brush and the deep dark purple shade in the Best Mattes palette to go ahead and start to do like a winged out shape. So I'm taking it from the outer V of my eye and flicking it upwards towards the tail of my brow. That way I'm getting that nice, beautiful, deep purple built up. With the same brush just cleaned off, I'm taking the dark khaki green from this palette and I'm placing that on the inner corner portion of my eye into the crease, and I'm only going to take it about halfway or a third of the way because I am going to take a blue here in a minute, but I'm just working that into the crease and getting that depth shade built up. So here I decided I wanted to add a little bit more of the purple and take it almost halfway, but a little more than a third of the way. That way I can get everything blended together. With the same brush just cleaned off, I'm going into the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette into the shade Linger, and I'm going to blend that over with the green, get that blended together by patting it on the edges of the green and also with the purple. So just pat that along the edges and it'll blend right out, and it's such a gorgeous, deep, grungy green. I love it. Or I said green. I meant blue. But it's a very beautiful one. I miss this palette. So with the Makeup Shack T63 brush, I'm taking more of that khaki shade just to kind of get it diffused. So I'm lightly doing back and forth windshield wiping motions to get that softened up. I'm also going to take some more of the purple just to get that taken onto the lid a little bit more and diffusing the shade ever so slightly. That way it'll blend out really nice. With the same brush, I'm taking the purple from the bottom right quad of the Best Mattes palette and just diffusing the shade. So right where the deepest purple got a little bit lighter from diffusing it, I'm just going to blend it out with this purple. I felt like it was a really nice one to blend it out with. It's a really almost like pinkish purple. It's very pretty, but I felt like they blended beautifully together. So now I'm taking the grungy yellow-green shade from the Best Mattes palette with that same brush and doing the same thing with that khaki green. I'm just taking it and blending it right where the darkest green got a little bit lighter from diffusing it and just getting it nice and blended out. And I really liked how this blend was turning out. I'm taking the shade Rush from the Surge palette and the same brush, and I'm just going to start to blend out Linger with it. Look at that very cool, very grungy blue. I don't know, I just was feeling Galaxy Grunge, and I felt like these colors together were giving it. So back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure, and then I'm going back into Linger just to bring it back because blending is repetitive, but it's worth it. So then I went into the greens to get them nice and touched up, and I'm patting it against the blue. That way everything is nice and evenly blended. With the same brush just cleaned off, I'm taking the pastel green to blend out the more grungy green side, but I'm going to dip into the pastel yellow to really soften that up and get everything blended out. Now I'm dipping into the pastel blue above the more true blue in the Best Mattes palette just to get that blue part of the blend nice and softened up, make sure everything's even, and this just really diffuses the entire blend as far as this part of the colors. From the top left quad of the Best Mattes palette, I am taking the pastel pink just to get everything nice and softened up on the purple side, doing back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure, but when I get to the stars, I'm really just kind of patting that shade, that way they don't lift. I meant to mention that earlier. So throughout this, I'm just patting when I get near the stars, so I don't have any color get underneath the stickers. With the Makeup Shack T14 brush, I'm going back into that second purple just to bring it back because I did lose it and I wanted there to be a nice gradient blend of purples. I wanted each shade of purple that I used to be able to be seen, and I just had to bring it back. So now I'm taking some micellar water on a Q-tip just to clean out my crease and get ready to carve it out. So I'm starting from the inner corner of my eye and working my way over. So I'm going to do this like a half cut crease. I find that the best way for me to do halo eyes. So I just take it from the inner corner, work it over, make sure I get all the shade cleaned off of my lid. That way when I carve it out, none of the color's muddy. So now I'm taking the micellar water and a Q-tip just to sharpen this up. That way when I go to doodle, I don't have to worry about possibly messing a doodle up. Now I'm taking some of the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer in the shade 1 to start to carve my crease out. With this, I will flatten out my Nameless Morphe Concealer brush and start to follow the skin where I had just removed the eyeshadow. And then I'll try to just work my way over from that inner corner of my eye all the way over to the outer V. With the Sigma E25 brush, I'm going to dip back into that khaki green and start to place it right at the edge of my eye towards my inner corner and bring it up to touch the dark green. And this is going to start to give us the halo shape. So I'm going to go back into that first purple that we used, do the same thing, but I'm going to start to angle it over a little bit. And then I'm going to clean the brush off and go back into the more grungy yellow green shade from the Best Mattes palette to kind of blend out the dark green, and I will go back into that to touch it up. So I'm really just taking this to kind of go ahead and get the shape. So I want these to make it look like they're giving my eye a nice little hug, so I will angle them a bit, and I will try to leave the shape at the top more wide, but also bring it in the center to kind of make it more shaped like I think of it as like a tornado shape or cylinder shape, and then just get the shades all blended together and make sure that I focus on getting the shapes before I do sparkles. To me, this is really where it's kind of like focusing on blending. So I will go in with the darker shades, blend them out with the lighter ones, then go back in and touch up the darker shades, and then kind of soften that blend up with the lighter shade. And as you can see, we're already starting to get that halo eye shape. With the Clionadh DF04 brush, I'm taking the shade Vampire Star from Terra Moon's Cosmetics, and I'm just going to pop that onto the edges of the green and the purple because it has a beautiful purple green kind of golden shift to it, and I felt like it just melted into these mattes so beautifully. I have to say, with Terra Moon's Cosmetics, I love everything I've tried from them, but there's just something about Vampire Star that I have it in a single quad, like a travel one, and I keep that right in arm's reach because it is definitely probably one of my most favorite shades. I would say it's like in my top 5, probably my number 1 favorite Terra Moon's Cosmetics shade. It's one that I cannot recommend enough to anybody. So now I'm going to take the shade Divine from Kaima Cosmetics. It's a loose multi-chrome. It appears yellow when you look at it, but when you put it on, it's very iridescent and so shifty with like blues and greens and yellow. It is so, so pretty. But with this look, I felt like it was kind of more blue with the shifts. So now I'm taking some more of that second purple just to get it blended with Vampire Star, just to make sure there's no harshness on the lid. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other part of my eye with the greens. And now I'm going to take off star stencils and start to fill them in. So with this look, I had something that I had to do. So I had to stop filming before I carved my crease. So that was like a couple hours later. I came back and then started putting on sparkles and filling in the stars and doing doodles. So when I take the stickers off, I will take whatever water activated liner. I use the Suva UV Taffies palette for this, and I just really started to try to follow the spot of the star where you could see my skin and just kind of fill it in. So with that, I'll kind of start from either one point, like an arm point or a leg point, and then diagonally go across to, like, if you're drawing a star and you just do like an upwards motion from a leg, bring it up to the point, bring it down, and from the second point of the second leg, bring it up to an arm. I just kind of do it like that. That way it I feel like doesn't get out of the bit where it was the stencil, and it makes it easier. And I've heard of people like getting told that because they use stencils that they must not be good at makeup. Let me tell you right now, if you use a stencil, there's nothing wrong with that. They've helped me learn how to draw. Like, I can barely draw a stick person. But, sidetrack from that. I took the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in white, and I started to do a circle, and I'm just going to let that dry down a little bit because this is going to be our Saturn. Back to the stencils. Stencils have helped me draw. They've helped me learn how to do the shapes that I was using. And I'm going to put another one on here, and I'm going to trace it out with liner. But also, I have days where I don't have the steadiest hands, and they're time savers. So if you have been told something negative because you want to use stencils, don't listen to anybody that's saying anything, because it doesn't take away from your talent. Really, they save so much time, and on days where our hands aren't the steadiest, they come in so handy. So, stencils, I love and use quite regularly because they are time savers, and some days I just have like 3 or 4 cups of coffee and can't hold a liner brush, right? So don't let anybody give you any flack for using a stencil, because stencils are smart. Like, I don't know. I love them. I use them a lot. And they definitely help me do cool stuff like this star right here, which was also being a pain in my butt. But I loved it, even though it was kind of stressing me out. So now, with this one, I'm going to take the pink from the UV Taffy's palette and start to doodle a tiny little star on the side of this star, more towards the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going to take one that kind of like makes it like a star cluster. So I'm taking the green. I just wanted to like rotate out colors. I wanted them to be colorful and fun. With that star that I just took the stencil off, I let the liner dry down before I take that off. That way there's no runniness to the liner. It won't mess anything up. And then there were some spots that I was looking at, was like, okay, I need to touch this up. So then I just went in to touch them up. Now I'm going to pop on a couple dots because I'm going to do tiny gleams. And doing tiny dots helps me to do tiny gleams. So while that's drying, I'm doodling another star. I'm just going to kind of keep the star thing just kind of cohesive. Just do random stars. In this part where my camera was shaky, I apologize. Milk was being rambunctious and running into things because he was just having the best time with Artie. So I'm doing another dot, gonna let that dry down, doodle another tiny star. I really start like I'm drawing a capital A, and then I will extend the points to make it more pointier for the star shape. I feel like I explain that differently every time, so I do apologize. Okay, for the tiny gleam, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to draw a line like right above it and connect it and then bring it down. And I'm trying to use the lightest amount of pressure because I want this to be a very, very small gleam. So what I'm pretty much doing here is drawing a cross, and then where I can still see part of the dot, I'm starting to connect it to make it pointy, to make it be a more 4-point star and real gleam-like. And you might hear purring because Bea came to see me and she's being so sweet today. I love her so much. So I'm doing the same thing for this one. This one I felt like got a little bit bigger than the other one, which was fine because I felt like I had room between those stars where it would just kind of like work out with it being like that. So now I'm going back with that Sigma E25 brush, and I am taking the hot pink from the Best Mattes palette, and I'm just going to start to do a little bit of shading here. I'm trying to do kind of like a C shape and leave the bottom bit that's closest to my eye where it will need shading, and I'm going to take the pastel pink to shade in the rest, but also go in to blend out that hot pink. And then I will go back in to touch up the hot pink, and I felt like it turned out so cool. Honestly, doing little details and looks where I have to shade things makes me really excited. So I did get some of the eyeshadows onto my lid, and I didn't like that, so I took a fluffier brush just to dust that off. Now I'm taking the blue from the UV Taffy's palette, and I'm trying to draw the ring. I kind of try to start with a line and then take it over and just try to make it look Saturn-like. So these are the Manic Gems Angel Baby Gem Pack, some of my favorites, and I'm taking my eyelash glue to get that stuck down, or get ready to stick the gems down. So I'll do that, and then I'll pop the gems on, and that's the look. Alright, so this is a finished look. What do you think? I feel like this is a galaxy grunge type of look. Oh, my lashes I'm really excited about because there are like pops of green in them, and it's kind of not showing up because of how dark the look is. But these are the Sour lashes from Reza Beauty. Reza Beauty has such awesome lashes. I really like them as well. I've been on a Tailored Minx kick because those lashes are so good. So good. But I had an order that I placed of the Reza lashes, and I am so excited. But yeah, my Saturn is so, I feel like, epic. I don't know, I just wanted to do something really spacey but kind of grunge because I've been on a like darker makeup kick lately, and I just like to try to put my emotions out on my face. It was like thinking about space things earlier, but also watching anime. But also, like, I feel a way to where I'm just like, I want to do something grungy, but also moody, because I feel moody. So, yeah. Guess that's a good enough excuse as any to do something like this. Sadly, the Surge palette has been discontinued. But I still reach for it sometimes, because it has such a unique color story, and I really like it. But, yeah. I just felt like pairing the blues from that with the Best Mattes palette was going to be iconic. Okay, I really am trying to get as much, like, all my filming and pictures and everything done as I can because a storm is blowing in. Like, it looks like it's 9 o'clock at night outside, and it is only 6 o'clock. There's supposed to still be a lot of sun, and it's not. It's thundering. It's raining. So, I'm going to hurry and try to get this wrapped up. So if you'd like to keep up with my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I'll have all my social medias linked in the description box down below. And if you'd like to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, then please hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me, and I can't thank you enough. And if you like this video, could you please give it a thumbs up? Because I heard that it helps push my video out in the algorithms. If you give it a thumbs up, then thank you. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any looks that you'd like to see, then please do let me know. I did see that I got a comment for how to do the Taylor Swift's wedding makeup for the Mine music video, and I'm really excited about that. That will take me, there's a package coming in that I'm really excited about that will be coming in the next few days, and this is going to be up, and then that, my camera died in the middle of me rambling. I'm so sorry. But the Taylor Swift music video of the song Mine, the wedding makeup version, I will have that up in a couple of weeks. I am going to try very hard to get to that soon. I'm really excited about it because I love getting requests. Unfortunately, with this request, I kind of have to like push it back a little more than I would like to, but it will be up soon. It'll be just a couple of weeks. I do apologize for that, but I'm wrapping this up like a few days before I have to have it ready to be up, and then I have this package coming in of a palette that I'm really excited about that's going to be releasing soon. So I want to make sure that I have everything good with that, and then I will get that done. So thank you for waiting, and thank you so much for the request, because I love the request so much. I love getting asked to do stuff. It just makes me so excited. But anyway, I'm rambling, and this storm is starting to get really bad, so let me know what you'd like to see next down in the description box down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one.